We now join the following program already in progress.
Work across the aisle, you've done it here in Nevada. Where do you see those opportunities to first do that if you're elected to the Senate?
You know, it's not going to be any different than what I've always done. You build coalitions on the issues that are important. You solve problems. We focus on what's happening in our country, as well as in Nevada. We focus on how we solve that problem, find a solution, and we work towards that goal. You don't have to be a different party to understand that at the end of the day, it's about working towards that goal, solving problems that help people in our country, that benefit businesses, that benefit working families. That's where you start.
What would be a top priority when you get into the Senate? What's one issue maybe that you would prioritize as the first thing you would like to tackle?
You know, there are many issues that I want to tackle that we are dealing with, particularly here in Nevada, and you're seeing it today. You know, working families are struggling. There's got to be an opportunity for many of us to come together to address that. Wages have been flat for the last 30 years, where we've seen, unfortunately, families struggling. It's time to stop the struggling.
Would you sign on to a bill? You mentioned the Cadillac tax as well, which has been tough. Would you sign on to a bill to try to repeal that?
Absolutely. I think it needs to be repealed. Again, it goes back to the issues of struggling families and giving them all of the opportunities to succeed.
One more bipartisan effort we've seen, actually two here, I-11 funding, Yucca Mountain, things that are specific to Nevada. It seems like we get a little more support from both sides now when you're talking about Nevada. Would you continue to work hard with the other side, as Senator Reed did, to stop, obviously, what's going on with Yucca Mountain, and then to get funding here for those critical projects like interstate?
Well, listen, I've always done that. As Attorney General, every single one of the bills that I've passed and worked on was bipartisan, both Republicans and Democrats coming together to get things done, and signed by a Republican governor. That's how we do it in Nevada. That's not going to change for me going to Washington, D.C. It's about focusing on the issues, solving those problems, and ensuring they are to the benefit of the Nevadans and people that live here every day.
We know you have a very busy schedule. Thank you for taking a few minutes with us.
Thank you.
Well, as you can hear, the only question she outright answered concerned raising the minimum wage and repealing the Cadillac tax. Her other answers, I would say, are safe. So, Steve, when does she have to nail down those positions and answer those questions?
Well, I would say pretty soon. I mean, the election isn't that far away, and you know, we're not talking very long until the primary election's over, and she's going to be head-to-head against Joe Heck. So I think the sooner rather than later, definitely. Well, the third and final presidential debate here in Las Vegas, still 9 months away. But that didn't stop the city from kicking off a nearly year-long celebration of its big opportunity.
The governor, the mayor, others gathered this week at UNLV to talk about the opportunity it presents in true Las Vegas style.
Now it's a political convention.
A sea of red, white, and blue as UNLV celebrates its selection to host the final presidential debate leading up to the November election.
I always talk about the fact that Las Vegas evolved to host people, and we do that every single day with the great staffs that we have.
Las Vegas will be the center of the political universe, not just on debate night, October 19th, but also in the weeks leading up to the event. Governor Brian Sandoval says he hopes the exposure will bring Nevada issues into the spotlight.
We have a lot of issues that are national issues that everyone are paying attention to. The candidates are coming here because they know they need to win Nevada. So that's good for us, and it's important that the nation knows our Nevada issues.
Political expert and UNLV professor David Damore says there's a good chance some of those issues could make it into the debate.
I would think that those would be there as well as some of the issues about sustainability. I think those are going to move to the forefront there, and obviously public lands is always an ongoing issue in Nevada.
Council on Presidential Debates co-chairman Frank Fahrenkopf says because the issues are so important, the format of the debate will be different than the two primary debates Las Vegas hosted toward the end of last year.
We do not allow cheers, yells, screams, boos, as we heard in some of the debates that have been held so far.
Up to 100 million people are expected to tune in for the debate, and thousands of members of the media will be based in southern Nevada in the days and weeks before the event. It's an opportunity UNLV and local leaders are ready to tackle.
It provides Las Vegas with external validation of what we've known here, where the future, what America is going to look like.
Well, of course, based on the seating at the Thomas and Mack, as many as 20,000 people could be attending the event, and up to 5,000 of us as well, members of the global media, will be there. So it will be busy this October at UNLV.
Yeah, where will I park? Hillary Clinton's campaign is attacking rival Bernie Sanders over his universal health care plan, Clinton says Sanders has been coy about how he'll pay for a single-payer system that would give health care to every American because he doesn't want to mention middle-class taxes. But Clinton has also accused Sanders of scheming to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, Medicare, and the Children's Health Insurance Program. She and daughter Chelsea Clinton have made that a campaign trail theme in recent days. Of course, Sanders says his plan would ensure everybody in America had access to health care, the way it's done in Canada, Europe, Australia, and other major industrialized nations. His plan is estimated to cost $15 trillion, by far the costliest item on his to-do list. Clinton favors expanding health care access, but stops short of a single-payer system. Well, up next, education savings accounts in Nevada are on hold.
2 of the 3 major legal issues went our way.
Why the Attorney General and the Governor who support the voucher plan claim this is playing right into their hands. Plus,
people are going out to Arizona, they're going out to Prim, and they're buying their tickets. So they're just traveling a little bit further, but they're still gambling.
We ask our face-off panel if Nevada will ever pass a lottery. Stay with us.
Come see what's new at the Suncoast Hotel and Casino, the most updated casino on the boulevard. Introducing Briggs Oyster Company, an all-new dining experience. Indulge your craving for fresh seafood and more, all cooked exhibition style. If you prefer a great steak dinner with a view, be sure to visit SC Prime. And don't forget the Game Sports Bar with great draft beer, tasty bar food, and TV screens galore. Plus lots of other dining choices to satisfy any palate. So head on down to the Suncoast Hotel and Casino today. See Be Connected Club for details.
When you're smiling, Smiles Today Dental is offering free braces for all ages in celebration of the opening of our second location. To enter, call 655-6777, and if you clinically qualify, your name will be entered for our monthly drawing to win free braces. Now you can have the smile you've always dreamed of at Smiles Today Dental. The whole world smiles with you. Smiles Today Dental, free transportation for any patient.
The world is getting more dangerous. Your home may not be as safe as you think. Trust Rolladen Rolling Shutters to protect your home, your business, and especially your family. Your windows alone can't stop burglars. You need the protection only Rolladen Rolling Shutters can provide. With Rolladen's durable aluminum construction and insulation, you'll be safe and secure while saving money, up to 60% off your energy bills. Call now. Rolladen Rolling Shutters, 702-878-1072 for peace of mind.
When we made the Jeep Cherokee, we didn't stop at a stunning interior, or at advanced technologies, or stop at that gas station, or from going over bumps, or rocks, or through rivers. Let's just say we couldn't stop ourselves. One drive and you'll discover why the Jeep brand continues to be the best-selling SUV brand. Right now, get $3,000 total cash allowance on the 2016 Jeep Cherokee Latitude.
Welcome back to Politics Now.
The Public Utilities Commission last week upheld controversial new rates for rooftop solar power customers. More than 1,000 people showed up at the meeting to ask the commission to put off its new rate schedule.
But the PUC stuck with the decision that they no longer want to subsidize rooftop solar homeowners and raised rates they said were hurting other customers. Democratic presidential candidates Hillary Clinton, Martin O'Malley, and Bernie Sanders have all criticized the PUC's decision, saying the sunniest state should encourage solar power. And Incredible Hulk actor Mark Ruffalo also made an appearance at the meeting as well. So how big of a campaign issue will this be, and who's it going to help and hurt?
Well, you know, you don't want to make Mark Ruffalo angry. That's clear.
No, you know what happens.
Well, I think this is like one of the few marks against Brian Sandoval on his record. He's been caught up in all of this because Solar City and Sunrun have essentially accused him, although not directly, but they've made Public Records Act requests that essentially accuse him of colluding with NV Energy to raise these rates. And so I think this is something he's going to have difficulty with going forward.
And you tie that also, they are appointed, the commissioners are appointed rather than elected by people, and that's been an argument I've heard quite a bit.
And the solar power companies asked him, to do something, but if he had actually intervened with these appointees, it would have been a huge scandal. I mean, the law doesn't allow him to do it, and wisely the governor said, no, I'm going to stay out of that. So.
Well, a state judge, meantime, has granted an injunction to Nevada's School Choice Voucher program.
The judge said the Education Savings Account program diverts state school funds away from public schools, which violates the state's constitution. He issued an injunction that prevents the program from going into effect. Now, more than 4,000 parents have signed up, and they were told the money would begin flowing next month.
I caught up with Governor Brian Sandoval earlier this week and asked the former federal judge about the injunction.
I want to ask you, with the ESA lawsuits, you have Lieutenant Governor Hutchison, you have Adam Laxalt. First off, what in the world is going on? This seems like it's a bit of a battle that maybe shouldn't have gotten this far.
Well, I think everybody wants the same thing. They want to make sure that this issue with the constitutionality of the Education Savings Account gets to the Nevada Supreme Court. Certainly that's my priority, is to get it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the ultimate arbiter of the Nevada Constitution. It can determine once and for all whether the ESAs are constitutional, so that we can have certainty for the parents and for the school system.
Would you have liked to have seen this handled a little bit differently, rather than private lawsuits and countersuits, perhaps handled within the executive branch before it gets to this level coming out?
Well, I think it was inevitable that there was going to be a legal test for the constitutionality. That I expected that after I signed the bill. You know, obviously I'm a very strong supporter of the education savings accounts, and I'm hopeful that ultimately the court will find it constitutional. But again, I knew that this was the path that it was going to take, and the sooner it gets to the Supreme Court so it can make its decision, the better.
So let's back this up just a little bit. The Republican-controlled legislature has backed the plan, and it has even caught the attention of Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush, who is touting it as a model of education reform.
And a third lawsuit related to the ESA program is now on hold. Lieutenant Governor Mark Hutchison filed the lawsuit in a bid to get a quick ruling about the program's legality. He was accused by Attorney General Adam Laxalt of jeopardizing the state's position in two other lawsuits pending against the program. But on Thursday, the two Republicans sent out a joint press release with Hutchison saying his clients have agreed to put their lawsuit on hold. Meanwhile, Laxalt said the state's in a good position despite losing the fight over that preliminary injunction.
There was an opinion that was handed down just a few days ago now, and I said in a statement that two of the three major legal issues went our way, but the court did grant an injunction based basically on the problem with funding. So we're looking at it and figuring out our next steps. I would say, though, that as it relates to ESAs, the fight is certainly not over. We are working very hard to defend this law that was passed by our legislature and signed by our governor.
And you can see kind of where I was going with the governor. We're talking about same team guys, and they were having a hard time. But Steve, will this be resolved rather by February, when the payouts were supposed to begin?
The issue, the whole issue, I don't think will be resolved anytime soon. We're talking just a preliminary injunction. I think the justices, because there's so much attention on this and so many people are looking to get a resolution, are going to try to fast track this. But next month, that's pretty tight when you talk about Supreme Court. It's not like you can roll up to the drive-through window and get a ruling handed out.
Right, these things have to work their way through the system, and that's part of the process, part of the design.
Absolutely.
Well, the school choice program is on hold, so at that point, what about those who have signed up?
It's going to harm those parents and those families the most.
Well, our face-off panel weighs in on where they think the program goes from here, who it hurts and who it helps. Plus,
the Constitution hasn't changed. But the poll numbers have.
Republican presidential candidates Ted Cruz and Donald Trump go toe-to-toe. Who may benefit most from the debate showdown?
Uncover great prizes with Pharaoh's billion-point pyramid at all station casinos. Swipe and play every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for up to 1 million points guaranteed. Pick a tile for guaranteed points, get a Pharaoh, and move up the pyramid to win 1 million points. Turn your riches into cash, free slot play, dining, and more. Plus, earn entry into the Room of Riches cash drawing on January 31st. Win up to 10 grand. Pharaoh's billion-point pyramid at all station casinos and fiestas.
2 people can eat all this food for $9.99.
And it's all my favorites. Yeah. 2 conies or 2 burgers and 2 tots and 2 drinks. Yeah. It's like I'm seeing double.
Totally. Speaking of double, look. Maybe they want to hang out.
Yeah, I'll talk to them.
Just be cool,
I'll
man.
be cool.
No, you're
I
not
know
gonna
how to be cool.
You're gonna be.
You guys want to hang out sometime?
Oh, man.
I think I nailed it.
See and eat double. 2 can eat for $9.99 all month long. And stop by for buy one, get one free wings on Monday nights. This is how you Sonic.
the new 2016 Ram Limited. You don't have to be a king to be treated like one.
Get $10,500 in total values on 2016 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in stock the longest.
All new Dr. Phil.
Was an innocent man framed by law enforcement?
You may have seen Making a Murderer, but
you don't have the whole story.
a secret locked away. What the sheriff admitted.
He knew and did nothing.
Exclusive interviews.
Does Avery think that his brothers have anything to do with it?
Shocking new details.
You have not spoken about this before. Why'd speak about it now?
All new Dr. Phil.
Monday at 3 on 8 News Now.
And this is Face Off, where the panel talks about the biggest issues of the week from the left and from the right. This week we sat down with Adriana Martinez, Executive Director of Better Education Today, and from the left, well, she's from the left rather, and from the right, KXNT radio host Alan Stock. This week we talked about school choice being on hold and if Nevada will ever get a lottery. I want to talk about how this is all played out. We've seen, of course, Laxalt's office, the Attorney General coming out. We've seen Lieutenant Governor Hutchison's office coming out. Adriana, what do you make of everything that's happened as this is unfolding, talking about lawsuits and challenges and now everything's on hold?
Well, the judge served an injunction, said we have to stop this. Let's keep in mind that Clark County doesn't have $18 million of money to go into private education. Public funds are for public schools, period. That's what this was made for. There's no other way. This gives every child in our country, in our state of Nevada, the opportunity to go to school. There's no way you can actually say, I'm going to take $5,000 to go to private school when it costs $10,000 in an impoverished area where you can't buy a gallon of milk or get to work without gas in your tank. So I can imagine having to pay for transportation, books, uniform, and an additional $5,000 to $10,000. There's no way. I'm glad this is taking place. I'm happy they're doing this, and the fight continues.
Alan, I'll give you a chance to respond, but also when you look at that, you're talking about people who have started to put the plans in motion to pull the kids from school. The payouts were supposed to start in February, so the things were going in motion. Now it's all on hold.
Right. It's going to harm those parents and those families the most because they've already begun the process. Let me just let you know, the Nevada Solicitor General Lawrence Van Dyke, who argued on behalf of the Treasurer's Office, countered the other arguments, saying that the state constitution authorizes lawmakers to encourage education, quote, by all suitable means, end of quote. And that means that they can use any means necessary. There are aspects of what you say, I understand, that you have $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to go to a school, you get $5,100, well, how do you get the rest of it? Having sent our twin daughters to a private school for 6 years when they were going through school, I can tell you that we couldn't afford a whole lot, and I had to mitigate some of the other dollars by participating. I was in effect, the president of the PTA for all those 6 years, doing everything I could to work off a lot of the extra amount of money, plus we did pay some. So if parents are really interested, regardless of the economic platform they're on, they can get involved in the schools, they can mitigate some of the additional dollars and send their kids to school. And when this thing is found by the state Supreme Court to be constitutional and goes into effect, I think you'll see a lot more kids from the lower income bracket participating as well.
Will Nevada ever pass a lottery?
You know what? Probably not, because we get the pressure from the casino industry, and it's too bad because they could participate and sell them these the lottery tickets through the casinos, and they would get so much of a kickback for each ticket. So I think it's short-sighted on their part. There's a fallacious argument out there that the lottery is a tax on the poor. You know what I mean? It's not a tax at all. It's up to you as an individual person whether or not you want to throw your money away or whether you want to invest your money, however you want to look at it. So, but I don't see us getting it. We have so much gaming here, and the casinos we want to protect it so much. I just don't think it's going to happen.
The last bill didn't even make it out of committee to try to bring it here. Do you see any effort at all in the next session? Is it even a priority?
They have it every session. Every session it fails. But I'm bewildered by that mentality as well, as far as, you know, gaming, wanting to keep it. Well, guess what? people are going out to Arizona, they're going out to Prim, and they're buying their tickets. So they're just traveling a little bit further, but they're still gambling. And so why not keep that money in Nevada? And hey, let's spend it on education. That's a great idea.
I agree. They're giving money to California, to Arizona, and the money that California gets supposedly was going to go for education. That's another whole story. But yeah, we could have some of those dollars, if we sold it, go to education.
Well, the closest the lottery has come to passing here was 2009 when it passed through the Assembly, but it did not make it out of the state Senate. A lottery bill has been proposed at least 24 times in the last 3 decades. Steve?
Thanks, Patrick. This is The Race Now, where we go over the top stories of the week. President Obama took an optimistic tone in the State of the Union, pledging to do all he could to unite a fractured country during his last year in office.
Voices that help us see ourselves not first and foremost as black or white or Asian or Latino, not as gay or straight, immigrant or native born, not Democrat or Republican, but as Americans first, bound by a common creed.
Now, one statement did get bipartisan applause: the challenge to cure cancer within 60 years. This year's State of the Union also had the fewest number of viewers in 15 years. Well, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz went toe-to-toe at the latest GOP debate Thursday night. One of Trump's strongest political moments came when he defended his hometown after Cruz derided what he called New York values.
Are socially liberal or pro-abortion or pro-gay marriage.
When the World Trade Center came down, I saw something that no place on earth could have handled more beautifully, more humanely than New York.
Cruz is now running neck and neck with Trump in Iowa. Pundits say he demonstrated strength in the debate for challenging Trump, especially when Trump suggested Cruz may not be eligible to serve as president because Cruz was born in Canada to an American mom and a Cuban dad. There's just one more Republican debate before the Iowa caucus, February 1st. Up next, coming to Nevada, Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina is making her first trip to Las Vegas since October. Where and when she'll be next.
Mix and match any 2 items for just $5.55. Only at Carl's Jr.
It's a year of decisions. Red or blue, hybrid or electric, gas or diesel. Whatever gets your vote, we've got it at the Valley Auto Mall in Henderson. With 20 dealers and 25 brands all at one location, the Valley Auto Mall is the clear choice. Make your mark. Shop the Valley Auto Mall or valleyautomall.com.
It's time. Conn's 48-hour MLK Day sale is here. Incredible deals in every department. Like this Park Avenue bedroom set for just $7.99. And don't miss 4 years no interest on furniture and mattresses. Only Conn's has yes money financing, so we can say yes, even when other stores say no. Just go to cons.com on your computer or mobile phone for your online application, and you'll get approved in minutes. But hurry, these deals won't last. Get to Cons Home Plus today.
When we made the Jeep Cherokee, we didn't stop at a stunning interior, or at advanced technologies, or stop at that gas station, or from going over bumps, or rocks, or through rivers. Let's just say we couldn't stop ourselves. One drive and you'll discover why the Jeep brand continues to be the best-selling SUV brand. Right now, get $3,000 total cash allowance on the 2016 Jeep Cherokee Latitude.
All the flavors of a great steakhouse, now on a burger. The Steakhouse Thick Burger. Onion strings, blue cheese, and A1 sauce on 100% Black Angus beef. Only at Carl's Jr.
This is What to Watch, where we bring you up to speed with what will be happening in the next week. Republican presidential candidate Carly